the international king of Swerve himself, Shane Strickland. Michael Jordan barely had competition. You're not getting those genuine moments anymore. You're starting to force these moments in wrestling, and it's not pure anymore. That's not the art.
I just happen to rap. I'm not that good, but I'm here.
Numbers has a lot of ways of fooling where somebody's at in their career.
Everybody has a point where when they're comfortable with themselves, they cannot say F it. They just don't care anymore.
We are recording.
Here we are back. Episode 5. We got 5 episodes deep already.
5 episodes.
Man, this Swerve City Podcast.
This is what we do.
Swerve Shane Strickland. You know who it is.
I took my nap. I'm ready today.
You got time today.
I got time today.
He got time. He paid bills.
Yeah.
He took care of his 612 children this week.
I woke up for this.
I
It was 72 last week.
It was 670. Did you lose your children since last week?
Nah, I just was busy.
Busy losing the kids.
Nah, busy making kids.
Turn up. That boy was cooking. That boy was cooking.
Oh, you cooking with grease now? I see.
The Lord knows. Oh man, so lots to talk about this past week. What's the date today? July 30th? July 30th on a Monday.
Yes, it is. Beautiful Monday. Rainy outside today in Florida. You know, this bipolar ass weather. It's the only place where you drive down the block and it's raining like pouring, and then the other street is sunny as hell. So
it was always like that on my street. Is that mine was a sunny street, and then on the other side where the Jehovah's Witnesses was at.
Yep.
It was rainy on that side. I was like, that's what y'all get for knocking on my door.
This isn't Kansas anymore.
this ain't Kansas anymore, man.
Kansas no more, Arrow. So yeah, my week was pretty eventful. I'm starting to forget what I did like literally 3 days ago.
It just all blurs together.
It's becoming bad. Yeah, it's bad. But I finally went to a chiropractor today. Got my whole body realigned or whatever they call it.
Adjusted.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Wow.
Yes, I ain't had this shit done since March. It was the last time I got it done, and that was like by a friend.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
I do. It was bad, but today. It was like I felt like I could literally go to a trampoline park and just do everything under the sun. After that was done today, that was cool. Me and Carly went and got that done at this place called Joints, recommended to us by Desmond Xavier. That was pretty dope. Oh, I also got a shout out.
Called The Joint.
Joints. This place called Joints. You look it up. It's Joints
we go to that too.
Oh yeah,
by our house.
Yeah, that's where we went. We went by your house, by around the corner.
Yeah. You go on Friday?
Oh no, we went today.
No, Fridays is good. Ooh,
I'm never home on Fridays. I'm always wrestling on Fridays.
Oh,
it's hard to.
Do they only adjust? Like, is there stuff that to do?
They do adjust you, but like you were literally in there for like 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes.
Do you do like the scraping and stuff?
No. There's a place. There is like a massage place in that cul-de-sac though. They do all that stuff over there. They take your time. They'll be in there for hours.
What advice would you give for a shy guy in wrestling?
What advice would I get? Oh, shy guy in wrestling?
Yeah.
Literally go do like all the wrestling and the promos and stuff. Do when you do that in training and stuff like that. Do it in front of everybody in the class. Break your fear of that early. Because like I broke my fear of being in front of people like back in high school, like football and doing talent shows and stuff. That's yeah.
Anything else you had coming this week?
Well, last week. Instead of going this week, last weekend I just came back from LA with PCW Ultra. Had a dope event. Saw Rich Swann over there. I wrestled Flip Gordon for the PCW Ultra Light Heavyweight Championship. That was a fun, dope ass match that we had that I didn't expect. I knew Flip was good, but it's one of the times when you get in the ring with somebody you realize how good they really are when you're in the ring with them. And that was a fun time. I didn't expect it to be as fun as it was, and he was a blast to work with. Flip gotten so much better since the last time. But that's my intro. This week, going to Dayton, Ohio for Wrestling Revolver.
Song too.
Going to Dayton.
I know the whole song.
Oh snap!
That's like
Can you turn it on?
We're looking at the Music Choice channel right now, and the Wu-Tang Clan.
I know the whole verse. Turn it on.
No, we can't do this because we're putting this on YouTube. We got copyrights. We gotta avoid this. So I got a dope weekend coming up, man. Dayton, Ohio Wrestling Revolver, the Catalina Wrestling Mixer with Sami Callihan's promotion. Then I got Evolve the next 2 nights with the Progress Show in the arena in Philadelphia, 2300 Arena. I main event the show, wrestling for the Evolve title against Matt Riddle. Going to be a barn burner. Going to be a classic. Going to be.
It's gonna be
Swerve. Yeah. What happened with you this week?
Me?
Easy.
Well, man, I just like I said, man, I just got my new place in St. Pete, so.
Right,
Just
That's the same shit you said last week. Give me some news, damn it.
They didn't hear it though.
Oh, they didn't. No.
It's new to us.
There you go. So I got my new spot. Getting everything together. Got my furniture and stuff
You in
like
South
that.
St. Pete or no?
You know I'm in the South.
You about 63rd Terrace?
Yes.
Where I used to live at. Over there by the Pink Street.
Yo, we gonna get back. We gonna get back to that. We gonna get back to that.
So everybody stay patient on who's watching us on the stream. We're going to get to these questions.
Yeah,
We're going
Get to the questions. We promise.
We gonna get to y'all. So things has been chilling, man. I've been good. Just been working out, working my 9 to 5. I'm trying to leave that and do music full time. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
What kind of music?
I got some stuff to ask you, and we're gonna get to the music. We're gonna talk.
It's all coming.
We gonna talk.
I'll tell you right now, this group of people right now, we got a multitude of talents sitting right here on this couch right now. We're gonna get to good shit. We're gonna get to some gold, baby.
Listen, okay, my week was good. My week was great. I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes of Monty's motivation. This is called the rerun, and basically what I want to give you guys is for this motivation for this week is sometimes you got to step back in life, and I got to get my motivational speaker mode. I was just laughing, so give me a second. You have to get into a mode where sometimes in life things kind of break down in life for you. And what you have to do is what I call the rerun. And sometimes you have to sit back. You have to reevaluate everything that is going on in your life. Sometimes things break down. Sometimes things doesn't happen in life the way you expect it to. But as long as there's a belief in yourself and a belief in everything that you feel, everything can come out the way you want it to, as long as there is a solid foundation. I always preach to people that there needs to be a foundation in what you're doing. There has to be a full support. It's like if you're in a relationship with somebody and you don't have the foundation with yourself first, then it's going to be very hard to be able to make that other person happy, especially if you're not happy with yourself. So rerun. Sometimes step back, look back at what you have going on in your life, look at things that are negative, block out all negative energy, block out all toxic people, and which I had to do recently, and my life has been going great. So, the rerun. Sit back, reevaluate everything going on in your life, reevaluate everything that is positive, and everything will go your way. And that's Monty's motivation for this week on the Swerve City Podcast.
Monty's motivation.
So let me get to the introduction.
See, I told you I keep it short, cuz.
You act like I don't believe you or listen to you. I get you, but that's why we're here. That's why we got this damn show.
And that's why Kobe better.
That's a damn lie.
Kobe where?
Yeah. Sis, tell him. Tell him.
That's why Kobe better.
Lie.
Let's continue.
Who jersey you wearing?
Iverson.
All right. So, introduction. Introduction. I'm going to start with the one on my left. This is my big sister, Big Swole, we like to call her. Little Miss Ariel Monroe.
Big.
Say what up to the world. It's Swerve City Podcast.
What up, Swerve City Podcast? This your girl, Big Swole. The smallest of the swoles, but the biggest,
At the same time.
Big personality, swole mentality.
Okay.
Little big sis, I like to call her.
Yes.
And to my right, we got the very talented Miss Zeda Zhang, aka Julia Ho. What is going on? Say what up to the viewers.
Hey, what up, y'all? What up, what up? What up? There's like so many
What
people
up?
looking.
With that Gina what up and she's like,
So, oh man, there's so much to get into, but so I would like to start off with my guests. This is the first time we have 2 females on the show at one time.
on the Swerve City Podcast.
On the Swerve City Podcast. So, first girl was the Mrs. Carlina Gore. And but y'all are the 2 females outside of the household. So,
Oh, thank you, man.
yeah, I was like, y'all the first 2. I was like, this is gonna be some good conversation.
I knew that the Lord was gonna bless me, and look at him, Sean. Hey.
Shine light on this podcast because we trying to pay bills with this thing. So, but yeah, over this past weekend, I just saw that you just won a championship.
I sure did.
Talk to him. Let him know what's happening.
It's a thing called FSCW. It's Fantasy Super Cosplay Wrestling, and I play Storm, which is Oro Monroe from X-Men. And like there's a whole bunch of other characters. Like we have a Black Panther, which he's now the actual FSCW men's champion. So now we got 2 Black Wakanda Forever champions. So it's like the blackest thing ever. It's
y'all
very
kept
awesome.
it in the MCU as well.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, we have like Ray, we have a Mario, Luigi, we have Skeletor, Melina from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Chun-Li.
Yeah, we have a Chun-Li. She's our Chun-Li. Yes, she's actually our Chun-Li.
Who didn't see that coming?
She's our Chun-Li.
But who didn't see that coming? You being a Chun-Li.
I mean, yeah.
You only have like 2 characters.
We got like Ruby, so we got our anime as well.
Characters in video games.
But of course you'd be Chun-Li.
Came back. But yes, we just won that. So we just did a Raleigh SuperCon. We did Florida SuperCon. I think we're going to Louisville in December.
Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, we're going all over. Like we're about to become the new like Wizard World.
Yeah.
So y'all gonna be on the road.
Yeah, we're gonna be on the road doing this, and like the kids love it. We love it. People say I look exactly like Storm, so X-Men people holler at me if you want somebody better than Alexander Shipp. In this movie.
I'm a Sony.
I've been
in that movie.
Not gonna lie, I've been asked to be Killmonger so many times in that.
You would be a dog. I've been putting your name.
Everybody's been asking me to be Killmonger.
Put it in there, just like put it in there. Just open up your availability just 1 weekend. 1 weekend. Let us have something.
Trust me, I want to get there. I want to get to do these things, but man, it's tough. My schedule be tight, especially with this thing going on right now. It's hard.
Shout out to Mike Broder, Dan Perella for putting that together. FSCW.
Shout out to my hood gangsters out there in the streets. I see you. You know what I'm saying? Darrell, stay out there in the streets, dog. Don't be doing that, dog. Whoop you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm like, okay.
I don't know what Darrell is, but you about to get a pop in these streets.
In these streets, dog.
You gonna get that pop.
Yeah.
And we don't mean them bullets.
It's gonna be like this morning.
Look, who's Chun-Li? Where's she at?
Oh, yeah.
She right there. Hold up.
Where's Chun-Li?
She over there.
Chun-Li. Bop. That Nicki Minaj. That Chun-Li. So Julia, Miss Zeda, how would you prefer we call you on this podcast? Julia?
Zeda.
Oh, you want
Or you could go by my music name, Julie Real.
Julie Real.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Eddie just sent a request to be in the video.
Nope.
Eddie.
Hey, shout out Eddie Kingston. Shout out Eddie.
You can't be in this video, Eddie.
Shout out my big bro.
So Julia, you've been doing the music thing for longer than you've actually been wrestling, right?
Yeah.
How did that? I'm gonna let you take this one, Mr. Music Man.
Hi, Music Man.
That's why you here.
This your job.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit back and drink this water.
All right. I got a couple questions. These questions are going to be very rapid fire. Now, before that, how'd you get into music, though? What kind of music do you do?
R&B and neo soul.
Jill Scott, huh?
I love Jill Scott.
Sorry, I made the steak. He's like, hold up.
Hold on, player. We're going to have to get some of these iTunes going, you know what I'm saying?
Pop.
Some music soul child,
I've
huh?
seen the pop. I've seen the pop.
Eddie said you
that's
scared.
what sells
Of
on
course.
radio, so most of my music that I made is pop in my background.
Let me hear something right now.
We
Sing
already
something
have
right
like a
now.
raspy soul.
Sing something right now.
I lost my voice over this weekend.
Okay, I ain't going to put you on the spot. So how long you been writing music? How long you been...
I've been singing since I was 4, like before I even knew English, I was singing. And then I started getting more serious about it at 9, then 16, then got real serious when I moved out to LA, and that was in 2012, and started writing music then.
You lived in LA in 2012? I'm pretty sure we probably bumped into each other too.
Probably.
Probably, 'cause that's about the same
Wait,
time
where
I was
did you
there.
live?
Well, I was in Oxford County, but that's where I was stationed at. And then I used to be in LA all the time. Like, I went to every single music festival out there. I went to all the clubs, Mel's Diner, Ketchup, like everything. You name it, I was
When
there.
did you move?
See, look, y'all learning stuff about each other.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
y'all go ahead. Union. Look at this.
I can't remember when I moved out there, but either way, I knew I spent a lot of money out there.
Lord knows. Is that
So,
I was freaking broke out
Oh,
there.
bro.
I was there for like almost.
In the Air Force and bro.
so what's your musical journeys? You performed at any places? Do you tour? Like,
I've performed at some places in LA, and then also Virginia, where I'm from, when I first started. And no, I haven't toured. Like, I got signed to WWE right before I released my album. So my album actually technically is not sitting. Released. It's been sitting. So now I'm slowly like trying to get it out.
Well, we gonna work on something.
I am down.
Enough said.
Enough said.
If you're not familiar with me, I go by. I don't know if you are familiar with me or not, but I'm Monteezy Moore. I made his theme music. ACH is in Evolves.
I peeped your Instagram.
Oh, you peeped it.
You gonna make some big swole music.
Let's say no more, y'all. We got mixtape coming soon, but let me know. For real, we gonna talk about that.
We didn't do a lot. We're gonna get this music thing.
You got. You know, I've made music for a lot of guys in the independents, some females as well. So you know, we're gonna make something happen. You know, but I do regular stuff as well. It doesn't have to be wrestle stuff. The wrestling thing's just my lane. That's what got me on. But I make music in other genres as well, hip hop music. So we gotta work on something.
You produce and rap?
Yes.
Does it all?
I do it all.
Does it all?
Yeah.
Do it all.
It's true.
All right, I'm down for that.
So what led you to WWE?
My MMA. I started doing MMA for like back in 2000, like end of 2007, and then through that, it's through my MMA connection they led me to WWE. So
That was
like,
around what year?
That was 2016. My tryout was September. Yeah,
Okay.
we were in the same tryout.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
We were in the same tryout.
Eddie was in the same tryout.
Yeah, Eddie was in the same tryout. Funny story is that
Alex was
when they hired 4 people, but they had a top 5. The top 5, there was Shayna, Dory, shout out to Dory, Kimberly,
Ruby Riott.
Ruby Riott, sorry,
Abby
Ruby
Lath.
Riott, yeah, Abby Lath, Zeta, and then number 5 was me.
And
But they
took
picked the
4.
top 4. That's how that went. I was like, but luckily enough, that's what they did, because I was like, okay, cool, it gives me some time. And then next thing you know, I became Big Swole.
I think they want Big Swole more now than
Yeah,
wanted Big Swole
then they want,
But that's always how it goes, though. Like they want you now, like more seasoned and more like you got all them kinks out.
I had to
All
get the
that
kinks
mess
out. Yeah, I
out.
had to
You
get
got
that
all
mess
the
out.
nastiness out of you. Now you're like, this is what we want. Because sometimes like we don't know that's what we want.
Right.
But now it's like when you come back the second time, it's like now we know.
See, I watch the music industry like that. The music industry isn't like that. They want the opposite. They want the young kids because they don't know what the hell they're doing.
How do you feel about music nowadays, especially hip hop?
Somebody want to know if you single.
I'm
done.
single.
Tony want to know if you single.
Yes, I am.
She's single. She's single, Tony.
Get it,
Tony.
get
Oh,
it.
chill, man. We working on some music. I gotta holler about some music.
We need to focus.
Let's focus on some music first.
But however, Tony got the connects in the other field. Like when it comes to Charlotte and like the CIAA and doing all the liquor licensing and stuff, that's him. So
Tony,
he's actually a guy that everybody probably need to know.
We
We don't holler at you, Tony. We holler at you, Tony, after this video.
Everybody in here knows somebody that got a hookup somewhere somehow.
That's true.
Where?
Yeah, music today. Who
Music, what do you
who
think?
you feeling
Yeah.
and what do you think about it?
Yeah, music today.
I feel like half of it is good, the other half is not so good, but
Trash.
You're being generous with half.
Right.
City of Sanitation.
yeah, I am being generous, but I give credit to the fact that they know their audience. Because at the end of the day, you gotta get over. If you get over with your audience, that's all that matters. Like, there's a lot of crap lyrics out there and things that make no
lyrics at
sense.
all.
Yeah.
A lot of ad libbing. I heard a song with nothing but ad libs. Oh, yeah, turn up. Get it. I was like, that was the whole song.
That's
and that joint.
Well, that sounds
And
like
that
96% of rap.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, damn.
That way. Which way? That way.
Song right now. This
Right?
That's fire. That's fire.
will be the next hit.
That's the hit right there. We just dropped one. That was 10 seconds.
Man.
Y'all gotta pay for the rest. Y'all don't get that for free.
I know, right? I'm like, we giving too much away.
We're giving too much away already.
Lives.
Hey, man, I need to
But
know
yeah, at the
what
end of the
was
day,
said.
if
Hold
you
on.
got a good message and you got a good beat, there you go.
Who do you-
Good message and
Who do you like?
Who do you pull? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Inspiration
right now,
from?
my favorite.
Conditioning.
I actually like Drake right now.
Oh, that's the cheap
All y'all
answer.
women love Drake, man.
That's the easy way out.
Don't generalize everybody,
No,
guys.
I'm sorry.
The
Listen.
reason why I like Drake is because he has both singing and rapping. It's hard to find a good singer and
Why?
rapper.
Because he touches sensitive side.
Hey, nothing wrong with being sensitive. Yo, gotta get in touch with your sensitive
You
side.
need a man.
But
Sensitivity.
Tiger did it.
all-time favorites.
Oh, you gotta get him on camera. You welcome back.
I got it.
Yeah, he said not everybody's that old, man.
Yeah, Desmond Xavier.
My bad. You got it, bro?
Everybody shout out Desmond Xavier.
got it.
Walk
Shout
in the
out
damn
Des.
house.
With flop.
Hey.
So,
Turn out.
it's about my bad. Sorry.
All-time favorite for rap, I would probably say Mobb Deep.
Ooh.
Oh,
You turn his gears.
Hold on.
Oh.
Hold up.
We might need to switch.
That's my
Excuse me.
all-time favorite for rap.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna leave y'all tied the vibe.
Mobb Deep.
I'm gonna get them tied the vibe.
Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
Is that what y'all doing?
I like more northern rap.
Okay. Let's talk. Let's talk a little bit here. Mobb Deep, huh? So what songs from Mobb Deep? What's
Quiet Storm.
With Lil' Kim.
Favorite ones. Yeah.
Word? What about Keep It Thorough? You know that one? Mobb Deep.
Yeah. I heard all their songs.
I throw a TV at you crazy. That one.
I have all their songs.
Yo, Albert gonna have to fight for this one. Albert gonna have to fight for this one.
Somebody contact ACH to tell him he got competition.
Yeah.
They're always trying to trying to compete with me. You ain't got it.
Wait, do it again.
You ain't got it, Albert. You not trying to compete.
Damn.
He tried to compete me.
She said Mobb Deep.
With the freaking knee picture.
I seen that.
Yeah, he
I
tried
was
to do
there.
that. Then I'm building my computer. Y'all, because I'm about to start a Twitch. And then he's like, well, I'm going to go build a computer, too.
And guess who's gonna show up on that Twitch?
Big Swole.
Swerve City Podcast.
What computer? What? Computer spec?
Why you acting shy? Like you built the show last week. You might as well just speak up.
Speak up, cuz.
Speak up, motherfucker.
Yeah, like what like what parts and stuff you get?
Oh my god, I bought so many.
GPU.
She said Mobb
Man,
Deep.
I had to research
She said
this,
my
so
big
it's
cut.
the
Hold up. Somebody on here trying to throw shade. Wait a minute, bro. Who owns this?
It's me.
Who is this?
Ryzen.
Somebody throwing shades.
Yeah.
Who they throwing shade at, cuz?
Not me,
GTX
huh?
1070 MSI.
Yep.
GTX 1070.
MSI.
That's really good.
Yeah, I got all this because I'm building it just for streaming, for gaming, and for video editing.
Delete.
That's really
Delete.
You definitely
Block.
16 gigs of RAM. Take it.
At least.
At least, yeah.
Like I bought so much.
I don't deal with the
stuff in
negativity.
return and
Block.
Got more.
Right, yeah.
I spent
Any
like
negativity,
over
you got
$1,000
we got the
on it.
go.
Just
Look, I'm glad I caught that. I was like, wait a minute.
I don't even have a window.
No, not my girl.
I built mine like a year and a half
You
ago,
got to go.
As we were.
Yeah.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
nerd,
So that's the tech. That's the tech corner.
So,
besides
okay,
tech
so we
corner.
said Mobb Deep. Okay, who else? Who else?
Rapper.
Rap group. Okay, who else from up north you like? East Coast.
You sound like an East Coast head.
Like
Well, I
me?
am an East Coast head. I'm from Virginia.
What about
That's why I was trained.
So like you like Biggie, all them people.
I actually
Uh-oh.
like Tupac. I like Biggie, but I like Tupac.
Most people like Pac better.
That's
I
true.
like Pac
That's true.
better.
Most people
I
like
like
Pac.
his message. His
Yeah.
message.
I'm a Biggie.
I like the one.
I'm a Biggie man. I'm a Biggie
I like
fan.
Biggie, but I like Tupac's message.
Biggie.
See?
All right, Big Swole. You talked about briefly your military background. Mm-hmm. You came from Air Force, correct?
It's true.
Speak on it. What brought you to the Air Force?
Honestly,
Air Force.
right. Honestly,
I was Army.
But see, my granddad was like, "Oh, you know, if you're gonna go to the military, go to the Air Force. You're too smart for anything else." And then, so I was like,
all
"All
the
right."
brains go to the Air Force.
Right. So I was like, okay. So I went there and I
And the
did.
money.
I was a fire truck mechanic in the Air Force. So I did heavy duty diesel, cat engines, and I did like regular gas engines as well.
Can you fix my Prius?
I mean, I could, yeah.
Please, I got the check in.
He got black real quick.
And don't tell me that bullshit. It's the alternator. No, it ain't, nigga. I just bought that shit off the damn line. No.
No. Also, it just makes the car run. It got nothing to do with check engine light.
No.
You're welcome.
Oh. We gonna get up under there later, and you'll find out. There we go.
Black as hell.
Yeah. I got
so
black folk. Y'all think I'm playing?
Right.
Check engine light on a car I bought last month?
That's my shit.
Yeah, don't play.
Like, nope.
Keep it in the fam.
Nope. But yeah, that was a lot of fun though. I mean, I had a good time. I'm stationed in California. Did Texas. Last station was Goldsboro, North Carolina. That's where pretty much met my future there, essentially.
Okay. What brought you to wrestling?
Well, I'm from Clearwater, Florida, so I was like basically living near, right? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody connected in some
City.
way. That's cool. That's awesome.
Big city all day. But I was basically living in the same neighborhood as Hulk Hogan, so I would see him and Macho Man my whole entire life. Like, I've met just about any and everybody. And I remember Linda, she told me, she's like, hey, never marry a wrestler, never get into wrestling. And I was like, okay, cool. But that was like my last thing on my checklist.
I made you broke both them rules.
I did.
You broke the hell out of both them rules.
I sure did. But like, that was my last thing of like becoming a wrestler was on my list. Like, cause I'm very goal oriented, and every single goal that I've ever written down, I have accomplished.
Don't we talk about this all the time on the podcast? Swerve City. Yeah. Swerve is confidence.
Yeah.
Be confident in everything you do.
Yeah. Like, I'm not one of those.
Wash your ass.
Wait. I'm not one of those people that's just like, oh, like there's nothing wrong with just going and being a lawyer. But if I want to do all these things, I'm gonna do them, cause I only got one life to live. So I was like, you know what? My last thing is becoming a wrestler. So I was like, you know what, let's just go ahead and do it. I found out about High Spots in Charlotte, North Carolina. Shout out to High Spots.
One of the best places you can go get trained.
Yes.
One of the best places you can go get trained.
George South. The proof is in the pudding with George South.
Anybody asking these wrestling questions with training and all that,
Right.
High Spots is probably in North Carolina one of the best places you can ever go.
High Spots in North
So
Carolina.
let me ask you guys this. I want to ask you guys respectively both for this question. You start first, and then you continue with the story about you with High Spots. What are some of the things you had to overcome? Like, what are some of the negatives, or maybe it could be stereotypes or hard times? Give me a story about something that you went through that you had to overcome to get to this point. Could have been a life experience, something that you can explain to the audience, something that you went through that helped you get to the point where you're at now.
Oh my God, there's so many. Like, my whole life has been basically trying to overcome. Like, I've been bullied my whole life. I was like minority where I'm from, and just being stereotyped, always being told that I need to be this way and that way, and not just within people outside of my own people, like my own family, but even my family, they were like, I was brought up very traditional, like Chinese background, got to be doctor, lawyer, and I didn't want to go that route, and it was just like frowned upon, and I had to really convince my family to let me do what I want to do and try and convince everyone else as well. So going through all that, getting bullied, and then trying to prove to everyone that I'm not this way, and I feel like the only reason why I have such a vast background is because I was trying to prove people wrong all that time. It was just kind of like my little revenge. It's going through, like, with modeling, people assume, I was bullied because they said that I was ugly as a kid. So I wanted to be a model just to prove people wrong. So when I became that, people judge me on being a model, saying I'm going to be a ditzy, stuck up, whatever type of person. And so I ended up going away from modeling and started doing more MMA. I'm like, all right, you think I'm just a ditzy model? Well, let me show you I can fight. So I started doing MMA, and then when I started doing MMA, I'm getting criticized in MMA, saying that I'm just a model. And in modeling, they criticize me, saying I look like a man because I'm too whatever, built for modeling, not built for modeling. So during that, and then with my music, people think that because of my background that I'm so shy and that I'm scared to be in front of the camera, because it was like that all grown up. I didn't feel comfortable until I was like 22. But they felt like I would never go that route. But it was just the desire of wanting to do it and just keep doing it. That just got me more comfortable and to the point where I'm at now. Like, if it wasn't for all those things and all my background, I wouldn't have even been at WWE in the first place. They wouldn't have even looked at me.
Do you remember anybody's name that told you wouldn't do it? Can you name them? Him or her? Just say it. Shout them out. Tell them.
Dude, there's There's freaking so
Call them out.
many. There's like
Not saying anybody that might get you, but like maybe somebody from your childhood or something like that. You be like
Yeah, tell little Timmy that said it was too ugly to get into this.
Like as young as I can remember, like preschool, I was getting bullied. The first memory was me on the playground. This dude pushed me off, and I freaking cut my arm open because he pushed me down and stuff. And it was just like throughout my whole life, like in school, it was always someone telling me I'm a loser or not good enough or just like I'm a nerd, I'm a loser. I remember being I remember in middle school I used to hide in the bathroom to eat because I was scared to be out in public in front of people because people would talk crap about me. And one day this girl that came from a different school, you know how when girls come into a school or new people come in, there's always like that whole recruiting, like, oh, who's gonna be in the popular crowd, who's not, and blah blah blah. So she got accepted like immediately.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but she became friends with me and she was cool with me, Jessica Jax. She became friends with me and she actually was the one that helped me a lot because I remember one day during lunch, the popular crew was like, hey, come sit with us. She told that girl, Jessica, to sit with her. And she was like, I'm not coming if Julia's not coming. And then that girl was like looking at them like, why are you sitting with her? She's such a loser. Like saying that right in front of my face. And then she was like, I'm not coming unless she
Stole. Big swole one day.
out of shape.
I was a fighter.
We were just talking about that. Yeah. We were talking about that.
Now she is huge, out of shape, like,
That's what you get.
that's what you get.
Yo, like I feel like as entertainers, like in any industry, we always have that chip on our shoulder that like that one person, the group of people, the family member, the background that we come from that keeps us driving forward. That we don't want to prove them right. We always want to prove those people wrong.
Our high school guidance counselor told me I was going to stay back, and I wasn't going to graduate high school. Showed up. I'm on the Swerve City podcast, man.
7 years later,
high school. You make me say your name because I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Cedric's pastor told him that wrestling wasn't a real career.
I remember that. I remember hearing that.
Yeah, all right.
But but yeah, what was your story? Like somebody just shouted out your story out there, like saying.
Oh yeah.
Who was that?
Oh, it's my brother Langston. Little
Shout out
brother
Langston.
Shout out, homie, salute.
Yeah.
I love your poetry, Langston Hughes.
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, the thing I had to overcome is myself. That was the biggest obstacle. Was me. Was really. What are you looking like that?
Continue.
Yeah, it was actually just me just getting like over
This is
like
gonna be a fail.
telling my doctors telling me that I can't be an athlete at all.
You comfortable talking about your medical?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. Like my doctor's telling me I couldn't be an athlete at all because of my Crohn's disease and stuff, and just saying that no, you're not going to be able to do this, and then my mother saying that no, I'm not supporting you of this.
I'm not going to allow you to do it.
Yeah, I'm like yeah, and then it got to a point where I was just like, you know what, Mom, I've been listening to you my whole entire life. Now it's time to listen to myself. It's time to listen to God. So I can't even be with you on that. Yeah, but now she's like changed her mind and she's like very supportive of my wrestling now and everything. So I'm actually pretty proud of that. It almost made me tear up. But on to this story that Langston wants to hear so bad. So how's in boot camp?
Well, for me or for you, mine was smooth. Yours probably was a roller coaster.
Right. I was in boot camp and I was the dorm chief. If anybody doesn't know what the dorm chief is,
Yep.
I was in charge of everybody. So if anybody else got in trouble, I had to push Texas. And Texas don't move, only you do. So that's a lot of push-ups.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So trainee better start pushing Texas.
We used to give dorm chiefs shit all the time.
I wish
because it was the fun thing to do.
They did not because they knew that I did not play.
Listen. It was so much fun.
I did not play.
It was like ribbon in wrestling. We just playing jokes on them.
This so late at night, we hear some noise in the bays, and the dorm chief, the MTL comes up. They bursting on the door. They go into the bays, and there are two people having sex in the bay.
What?
Turn up.
Yeah, there are two people just going in the bay.
Always better on the bed.
Right. So they have one on the couch, and the other one has this girl over the desk.
Oh my.
Everybody walks in, and they're looking like, oh, snap. So they're like, the MCL's like, what are you doing? Trying to stop what you're doing. A dude on the couch and the girl.
I'm gonna say, what are you doing? You know what they're doing.
You know what they're doing.
You see what they're doing.
So the people on the couch, they stop. But the dude that got the girl window on the desk, he just continues to keep going.
Mid-stroke.
And he
don't stop till I get to
right. So they just keep going. Until he finishes. And the girl's like, stop, what are you doing? He's just like, nope, because the MTLs can't touch you. You know, these dudes naked.
Oh.
So he finishes, and they get down to the command.
So he finished.
He finished. He straight up finished.
Yes.
Dude goes down to the command post or whatever, and the commander's like, just grilling him. He grilled the other 3 people or whatever, and the guy who just wouldn't stop till he's finished. He was the last person. Everybody else got sent back to 0 week, and we was already in like week 7. So that out of 8 weeks, we were at week 7. We was home free. So the last dude, he was like, what's wrong with you, trainee? You just kept going. You ain't listen to your MTLs. Da, da, da. He's like, why didn't you stop? And the dude looked dead at the commander's face, and he said, well, sir, it was my first time. And the commander's like, well,
You know,
we're
gonna excuse this whole
They
thing.
let him come back to week 7 because they were just like, it's your first time. We can't even punish
front.
you. We can't even punish you for that.
Was it really his first time?
Yeah. It was his first time ever, having sex with a girl, and they were just like, you know what?
You know what?
Oh, you know what? There you go.
You know what? You go ahead. You go ahead.
Go ahead and do your thing.
Lord Jesus. Oh man, in those times, the basic training times for me, we got I got stories out the ass. Not really many of them involving me, maybe like 1 or 2. But I remember this one girl got intentionally pregnant to leave.
Wow.
Yeah, she went down
I've
and
heard that happen.
they intentionally get pregnant so they get sent home and they don't have to come back. I've seen that happen. I've seen like attempted suicides.
Yeah, I've heard people were trying to get shot to try and leave.
Yep, on the.
I
on the shooting
intentionally
ranges.
got in the band flight so I wouldn't have to be outside so much.
But see, that's an
I'm
activity.
just saying, like, I played the hell out of that snare drum.
You replace an activity with another activity. You didn't try to choose bodily harm.
No.
Configuration
I
to
just knew
your
that
body.
the 4th of July was going to come up and we was going to be in a parade, which meant that in the middle, I got barbecue, Snickers, and I got some McDonald's.
And at that time, all that was tasted phenomenal because you didn't get any of it.
Yeah, you didn't.
You didn't get no
What
sugar.
was the food like there?
Crappy.
Like
Our
what?
food was phenomenal.
Well, it was crappy to me because I'm used to the finer things in life. So, I guess it was good for everybody else.
Like what is it? Mac and cheese?
I mean, they had like that. They had mac and cheese, beef stroganoff, they had
They do
meatloaf,
pastas.
they pastas,
They do
lots of
pastas all the
pastas, lots of fruits, desserts, but you can't get no dessert. They put the cakes out all
Yeah.
nice, but you can't get none of the cake.
Why?
You get a cake if you want to.
Because you're supposed to be in shape.
Yeah.
You're training.
Why would they
Like
put it there
literally,
then?
Because they're assholes.
right. I would put peanut butter up at the top of my gums because I knew that I was gonna be hungry later on. So when I was hungry, I just did a little lick.
Could you Eddie the horse? Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit of peanut butter because you had to hydrate and get out.
You know what we used to do? On our camel packs, we used to put our coffee in there. Just because you'd be getting no sleep when you used to get out in the field, so you just sucking on coffee the whole time.
I did that when I was at tech school, except
my
I did it
camel
with Everclear. Yeah, when I was in Cali.
How long were y'all in it?
And what?
8
In
weeks.
boot camp? 8 weeks.
Mine was 9. They moved it up to 12 now.
Yeah, it's 12
heard.
weeks now. I
Heard
can't.
it's 12. Yep.
The best part though was when you got to the weapons. Like I had like the fastest record for pulling apart the M16 and putting it back together.
Oh,
Like it was like that. Like I think the record for Lackland was like 30 seconds or something like that, and I did mine in 15. Took it apart, boom. Stop the time, put it back together, boom. Shake it, make sure the pin isn't rattling. They were like,
Fire and
dang,
pin.
yep.
I want to bring something up because I wanted to ask you this. And,
That's where we get deep.
You yell like
I feel
his face.
but
His face is
but this is a question that's popped in my head. Like, obviously, you just recently was married, and
Shout out Cedric Alexander.
Show the ring. Show
Showed it to the big camera. The hard cam.
so the question I got
Bam!
for the married person here,
Shout out Cedric. Wifing up Big Swole.
for the married person here is relationship advice, because we just did a relationship episode with Carlina. So, what's your relationship advice? Newlywed also, but also being in a long-term relationship, stuff like that. What's some relationship
With child.
with child?
child travels.
honestly, I just try not to take too many things seriously, like, because people are going to say whatever they want to say. They're going to have rumors. Like, at this point, I tell Cedric all the time, like, people are going to talk about you, and women are going to send you stuff just because they can. Now, I can't fault him for that, because, I mean, who don't like seeing titties every now and then? So, like, but I can blame you for what you do. But I can't blame anybody else. Just for you. You have to be accountable for your own stuff. And I can't, like...
More so now.
Right. And whatever I do is not going to stop you from doing whatever you want to do, because you're a grown-ass man. And I'm a grown-ass woman. And when people start trying to control people, that's where you have all the problems. Yeah. Like, you have to remember that you guys are coming together to be one, but you are individuals. You guys were individuals and are individuals until you guys come together. Like... Let them be. Let them breathe. Stop breathing down their necks. And it's something that I had to learn, because I think that every female starts off with that whole, you're super controlling and you just want everything this way and you're scared of them doing all that.
A lot of men are like that too, especially when they're scarred. Men, we're scarred, we become like that.
Right.
From trauma, from previous stuff.
And it's like, you got to learn to let that go.
You have to.
Like, you can't just be bringing other baggage to a new relationship thinking that everything is going to be fine. Yeah. You know, you can't just be worrying about this and worried about that. I don't worry about what he does, because he's going to do whatever he does. And he already knows that your actions have consequences in every form of life. So, you go out there and mess up if you want to. All right. You know, like, we know what it is. Like, you know. But then again, like, you know, sometimes people mess up, sometimes people don't.
Y'all like-minded individuals. Y'all y'all pretty much, like... There's no drama. There's no craziness. There's no excess. Like, because I come over to your house all the time. Yeah. I've spent holidays with you guys, and I've never seen any outside drama. And all of our friends in the crazy world of wrestling, how it can be, come into the house. Right. No. That's why I love coming over, and that's why I love inviting y'all over here, because it's always just like,
we don't let that drama like. Like,
we're blocked off.
What he's going through, and like what people like say about him, okay, because you know people will talk. And, you know, me, I love clapping back on people. But, you know, I don't never, like, bring it into the house. Because I'm like, I don't want that negativity in there. And I don't want those issues, and I don't want those problems. I don't give a damn what you say. I don't give a damn what you call me. People on Twitter now calling me a clown and stupid and saying all this and that. And I'm like, okay.
Shout out Leo Rush. Swerve City, checking us out. Thank you, bro.
Hey, Leo.
Yeah, he just popped up there and gave us a shout out. Hashtag Swerve City.
Yo,
my dude. Appreciate
shout out to my G. Hey, man, I'm gonna get that song to you soon for that verse, bro.
And that beat is fire.
Yeah,
fire.
It's coming.
It's coming. We'll talk about that later in the show.
Julia, you ever? Little Mrs. Zeda Zhang. Why are you single at the moment? You have a lot going on for yourself. You're a very beautiful woman, very multi-talented. What is the issues? I wouldn't say
why are you single? What's going on?
Because there's 4 phones right here, and YouTube, and me. Shout out Desmond Xavier. Get the camera on Des. Get over here, Des. Get back in that camera, the hard camama. Desmond Xavier.
That's my G. That's my guy.
That's my roommate.
That's my philosopher right there.
With them James Harden shorts on.
Wow. He's my new therapist. That's my new therapist over there.
I wish I had money like that.
This is true.
How many just things could be written off?
I'll tell you how much you got for the cover of Live. Just that alone. But back to Miss Zeda.
Yeah, you have the floor.
I honestly just don't have time. Like, my life is seriously on the grind all the time, and if I'm gonna be in a relationship, I want to make sure I'm not being selfish and like giving enough back. So I'm just not at the right time. It's like I got goals to focus on, and until I reach all the goals I want to reach, then I can start thinking about relationships in the future.
I dig that.
That's a fact.
I dig that.
That's a fact.
You know what else is a good relationship advice? Not being stuck in your own ways. Like, listen. Look, let me talk.
We were just talking about this before y'all came in.
I think. I hope that look, women, don't try to bash me on this, but I think that women have a habit of being stuck in their own way, that they don't want to change. They don't want to do anything else except for what they want to do. Like, I know that my husband is a homebody. So I'm an active person. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I know that I need to just tweak a little bit. I don't mind sitting at home because I like spending time with him no matter what I'm doing. Like, I recently got into a whole bunch of comics because he loves comics. So now
that's the next transition we're going to.
I love reading it up. Like, I don't even call Superman. His name is Kal-El. Look, just saying. Like,
Callie.
Look, his name is Kal-El from here on out. Like, I love reading about it. I love looking at the whole encyclopedias and everything.
We gotta share comics, by the way.
Wasn't we just talking about this as men, bro?
Before y'all came into this house,
like God, to just make
this
stuff easier, because like I know his life is stressful enough. He don't need to come home and add more stress. Like, take me this place, buy me this, do me this. No, listen.
It's all laid out by the time he gets back.
I am fine sitting at home watching Smallville, Flash, Supergirl, whatever you want to watch. Look, Rick and Morty, look at Family Guy, American Dad. I've seen all these episodes millions of times.
You give them way too much sponsorship shout outs and we ain't getting paid for none of it. This is a goddamn shame.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
I think at the end of the day, the reason, like, it's so good with y'all is because you guys enjoy each other's company, like each other's personality. It's not about we gotta go on a date, or we gotta do this, we gotta do that.
We are best friends.
Yeah, and that's the foundation that y'all lay down.
Best friends.
See, this is what I be talking about. This is what I be talking about.
We're at episode 5. You've been talking about this episode.
I've been
1.
saying this from the beginning, and a female finally said it. Look,
another female.
Me, I'm a goal-oriented dude. I'm all over the place. I need a female that's like you doing stuff too. Like, I'm not trying to. Oh, what you doing? Nothing. Chilling. Do you have anything going on? Can I learn anything from you? Is there any, like, I'm traveling, I'm going places, creativity to bounce off one another? I'm coming back with stories and, bruh. You know, I'm like, I need something.
You know what my pet peeve is?
What's that?
Is when someone says, I'm bored. I'm like, there is so much stuff to do. How can you be bored? There is so much stuff to do.
I like boredom sometimes, though, because I like, once again, we coming off the road.
Boredom, it's relaxing time for
that's
y'all.
true.
Right. But you're doing something, but not doing something. You know what I'm saying? You're doing something, not really doing something.
As I've gotten older, I've wanted to do less. When I come home, I was like, hey, I need a day to just, like, let me sit back, let me watch Orange is the New Black, because it just came out last 2 days ago, and I wanna play 2K. I want to yell at Montesi for not passing the ball. I want to I want to play these games. I want to just.
He yells at me all the time.
Everyone.
Not just.
Literally, like, Cedric comes home, I have his stuff for like his cheat day. Like, look, I already got this stuff because I already know you just gonna eat and you're gonna go to sleep. That's it.
You're gonna cook.
And you know what? That boy cook. Listen. And this is one last thing I have to say about this, because this is really important. Communication. Even when you don't feel like it.
Lord knows I don't.
Me either. It's some of the most important things. Like, sometimes, look, hey, man, I just stepped in the house. I'm tired. Give me like 15 minutes. Okay. You don't walk in the house. This is from previous experience. And if you're watching this, oh, well. And you come in the house and you don't even say nothing. And I'm like reading your mind. I'm like, what's going on? Talk. How's your day? Everything good? Is something you need to talk about? What's going on?
Even if it's not anything informative to you,
just speak something. Speak. You walk in the house and say anything.
Vent.
And then I'm looked at as crazy because I'm saying something. Okay.
Me, I had a little thing with Carly last night. She came home and I let her vent.
That's what you need to do.
Just let her vent. I'm like, I'm not going to offer.
Just put it out.
I'm not going to offer any advice.
She's doing the right thing and I'm doing the right thing.
Right.
And until you get to a point where you find your Colleen, or you find your said, just chill.
Just chill.
Don't force it.
It's not hard. It's not difficult.
No,
don't make it hard. Don't make it difficult.
Force.
Like, I can't wait to get my freaking rocking chair and sit out in front of this damn porch and just watch children get off the school bus, yell at people that's stepping on my lawn, like, just watch the world go by. I cannot wait.
Donkey Kong's daddy.
Yep, I can't wait. Ooh. That's my goal.
Just sitting there.
People ask me, like, what is your ultimate goals after wrestling in your life and your career? I'm like, for my children to be set up. They don't need me. They don't need for anything. They can just go and live their life, and for me to just sit back and just look at the sun go down on my porch. That's what I want. I don't want to go out guns blazing. I don't want to go out like dying in the middle of the ring. I don't want the crazy car chase. I don't want to do that. I want to sit back and just like enjoy my life.
Enjoy
the spoils.
Go out like Thanos, bro. Thanos was chilling.
No. End of Infinity War 1 is the best because that's what I want to do. I just want. Was it all worth it? Yeah.
Yep. It was worth every second of this shit.
Yeah. Speaking of comics, y'all just dressed up as comic book characters.
We did.
And video game characters. All right.
Oro.
We just had a battle about fighting games.
Yeah.
On the DMs. Favorite fighting game?
I would say Mortal Kombat only because it is
You'll get smoked.
the first. What?
Ooh,
What?
these are Twitch fighting words.
You'll get smoked.
Oh.
What?
We're gonna fight.
Which,
on
he
Twitter.
wants to know which Mortal Kombat.
The second one. That's my favorite one.
Oh, Mortal Kombat 2? Whoopsie and all that?
That's the first
Oh,
game
yeah,
I
yeah.
ever played in the arcade. Like, when I was 4. That was the first game I ever played.
Okay.
And it was all in from there. So that
Look at
one
the excitement
and-
that just came over
yeah,
your
I
body.
was like, oh, shit.
Bruh.
And then Soul Calibur. I really like Soul Calibur. And
Soul Calibur, I'm on and off with at times. I don't hate it, but it's like
Tekken.
Tekken.
I'll smoke you with Lee and Law. I'll smoke you with Lee or Law. I'll smoke you.
Bruh. My God. All these fighting words out here.
Man, we're gonna fight on Twitch.
Which is coming out very soon.
We fighting. I miss you too, Sam.
You'll probably be filming that too.
Bobby! Oh my God, Quiet Storm is on right now.
Bob Deep is on. Quiet
How did it
Storm.
just come on? That's
It's serendipitous. Oh, you
This
manifested
is
that.
the night. This is the
You
night.
manifested
It's all
it.
about the vibes.
Swerve City Podcast,
Swerve
baby.
City Podcast.
Manifested
We
Bob
can't
Deep.
play it on here because of copyrights.
Yeah.
But you know what it is.
Yo, we gotta show proof. Like, did not make this up.
We just said at the beginning of the podcast, Mob Deep, Quiet
It
Storm,
is legit on there right now. What the hell? Oh my God.
Murder Music. He falling in love.
I saw.
Shut up. I'm not saying nothing.
He
I'm
falling in
fine.
love. Big Swole, you talked to me. You actually used to work at GameStop, so I know you got a favorite fighting game, favorite game of all time, favorite adventure, whatever. List them all. And what you currently play now.
My favorite fighting game of all time is Mortal Kombat. Only because Ed Boon is a genius.
He is.
Oh man, the countdown.
I'm about to lose my stream live too.
Mine
You
is
just
that too.
gotta reset it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Okay, look, time out.
No, it's cool. No, they gotta watch the podcast. They gotta to continue. You gotta watch the rest of my show.
Oh, yeah.
Continue, you gotta watch the rest.
Yeah,
Right.
we peacing
Continue to
out.
watch
We
it.
got an hour.
So Mortal Kombat, because Ed Boon was a genius, and what?
Which one?
The original.
The first
I
one?
love the first.
Oh, Liu Kang wins.
Kang
That one?
wins,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
My goodness, where you just automatically pop up and it's just like, you just like, oh, a little bitty characters, like, oh man, what?
You ever notice that
like,
you ever notice that you play these fighting games now, the health bar goes down. Boop, boop, boop. You play it back then, one punch. I'm like, you can't get hit like 4 times in the original Mortal Kombat.
Well, don't get hit by Goro twice.
No,
Don't get hit by Goro twice.
Shao Kahn would murder you with the hammer.
It's over.
Actually, right now, let's shout out to Cap Gaming, my brother Chris Pavone. If you need anything gaming wise, I would go through him, through his company. It's on Facebook.
Someone's asking actually.
Yeah, he just made me a little gadget that has everything on it. And when I say everything, my dude, I mean everything. I have Genesis X32s. I got Sega Genesis, regular Genesis, Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo.
Keep going.
Got like
Dreamcast,
Atari.
Atari. I got arcade games. I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Japanese version of that too. I got the Lion
see
King
why I'm always
on
up
there.
there.
Super Mario Wonder. I got Moonwalker on there. I got Dragon's Crest on there.
Now you see why I'm always at their house.
Like it literally, and it's emulated so that you can play it with PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 controllers. Let's go.
Who you cooking,
We're
man?
doing Mario on.
Oh, and Nintendo 64 is on there. So you know I already got Super Mario Party, Mario Kart, Mario 64, Star Fox 64, Spyro.
Cook!
When I mean I got Paperboy, Game Boy Advance on there, Game Boy Color is on there, PC games. I got Quake 3. I got Duke Nukem. I got Doom on all systems. Like, it literally has everything. Everything is on all small compact.
It's all cute.
If they needed to test their knowledge.
Virtual pinball machines, like the big ones, and then it's just all touchscreen. Yeah, like he makes everything. Has a 3D printer, everything. Like he.
Y'all house. CAPP. I'm sorry.
Gaming.
I am not inviting myself into another black person's house like that.
Yes, you is.
But I gotta come through.
Yes, you is.
Yes.
Reese does it.
Yes, you do.
I want it.
You ain't do, if
I
you ain't even doing anything tonight, Cedric be home by 12. We can make this a game at night. On deck. Look, we don't even care. AJ stays up. Look, we go put her to bed. It's on. On the big screen. Look, listen. No, because shout out Supercon. Supercon just bought us these. I see you got the Big Joe over there. Have you seen the really big one? That's like look like a couch. We got 2 of those things. It spans the whole room because they so big. And then we got gaming chairs as well. And it's a big old 64, 70-inch like curve TV.
Mm-hmm.
The new Samsung with the 4K.
Oh wow!
Bro, we can set it up in his man cave and go ham in this mug. Look, matter
of fact, the little side note, like this TV right here, sitting right there, that was the old gaming TV from Cedric.
Yeah.
He gave it to us. Now they got the old upgraded curved TV, so they can do all this fun interactive family shit.
Right.
Without me.
I'm sorry.
I don't get invited.
I love you. You always invited.
I was at the wedding.
You got an open door policy.
I do. I need a key.
Look, you wearing the Swerve bracelet.
The Swerve bracelet.
You better not say that. He's gonna show up at your door one day. You open it.
We don't really care.
Y'all need to give me a key.
We don't really care. We should. Like, look.
I already have to watch the little one anyway, so.
This is true. Yeah.
Favorite Marvel movie that's come out in the past, that's y'all have watched in the past couple years. Give me top 3.
Outside of Black Panther.
You haven't watched any of them?
I watched.
You watched Black Panther.
I know you watched
No,
Black
I
Panther.
haven't watched anything. I've been so busy.
Black Panther is right there on Blu-ray. You need to take that with you
Alright.
and watch it, study it,
I'll bring it back.
and come back on the show maybe a couple weeks later, maybe a month later, and review the film.
Where is it at?
You can see it. It's the one that says Black Panther.
Black. Black.
I'll go to you on this one.
Favorites.
But top 3.
Top 3.
Actually, top 5 because there's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a lot. So okay.
I just listened to
okay.
a movie podcast and they discussed their top 17 in order.
Black Panther, Iron Man.
The first one.
The first one.
Everybody puts that at the top 3.
The first one. I thoroughly enjoyed Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I wasn't a fan of Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I liked it.
Me and Brian Cage actually agreed on this. We were not a fan of it.
The other ones were good and good as well, but like this guy, he knows how to actually do the parkour and all the other stuff. So I will say him doing it.
I will say he was one of the top. He was one of the best Spider-Man. Yeah. He was one of the best Spider-Man, but I wasn't a fan of the movie itself.
You might want to rewatch it
because of the storyline.
I rewatched it and like a lot of the jokes kind of hit more, and a lot of like the writing kind of really shined. Like a lot of the
it's I don't know. It's something about.
I felt the same way you did it.
It's something about a dorky Flash Thompson that just doesn't do it for me.
I feel it.
That really bothered me. I'm like.
I mean, Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite out of all.
Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man of all time. A lot of people put Doctor Strange up in the top 3.
I like Doctor Strange. I like Doctor Strange.
They put
and Deadpool.
He's not in MCU, so what? He's not in MCU because he doesn't go with all the films. He doesn't integrate with them, so you can't count him. Like X-Men, you can't count. You can't count Logan. Okay. Can't count those.
X-Men just got purchased by Disney, so now Storm is a Disney princess.
That's what we need.
I'm Disney princess now.
You need to go talk to Disney about getting in there.
I do, because I've got so many people that are like, you look more like Storm than who Storm, the girl on the movie, does. And I was like,
yeah, she was a little too. You ever see Dear White People?
Yeah,
she looks like her.
The Tessa Thompson.
That's her name.
That's her name.
She's a gorgeous woman.
She is.
Gorgeous
she was
lady.
Gorgeous in what was that movie? Thor, the Ragnarok. Was it Ragnarok?
Oh no, wrong one.
What?
Wrong one. Yeah, I think you got the wrong girl.
No, Tessa Thompson, the one from Creed.
Yeah, that's the wrong girl.
Who are you talking
from
about?
Dear White People? The show.
Oh, the show. Oh,
Yes.
what's that girl's name? Oh man.
Oh, not the show. Yeah.
I don't remember her name, but I know you're talking about now. I've seen it.
One more minute, man.
Oh, that was a fire beat.
It was fire.
We're getting some.
It's ludicrous to man this man.
Hey,
We're getting some hot fire songs. We're getting some hot fire songs popping up on the TV right now. We can't play
Missy
for
now. I'd wipe that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
she looks. So
I'd wipe
good now.
Missy now.
what was that new song? It was I'm Better. I'm better. I'm better. I'm better.
The first
I
one.
know that.
Yeah, I think.
That album's so classic,
It's
bro.
classic.
Super Duper Fly.
That album's so classic.
Yo, classic albums. Bring up,
Classic albums. Missy
Classic
got three.
albums.
Missy got 3.
Yo, who has the?
Aaliyah, 1 in a Million.
Oh.
Classic
Yeah.
album.
Yeah, if you
What are your top 5 classic albums?
Eve,
if you
Scorpion.
like a 99, 2000. Oh, Scorpion. Oh, Scorpion got that one had. Scorpion had do this thing. Satisfaction. That one had Satisfaction on it.
If
Didn't
I
it-
had
didn't-
to give
didn't,
you that one.
that with Gwen.
Yeah, Gwen Stefani.
Gwen Stefani, yeah.
I thought you were talking about that.
Love Is Blind is one of the dopest rap
yeah.
songs of all time.
Yes.
Whatever album that was on,
You and I only.
that
Yeah,
whatever that made
that was really good.
That made that album a classic
Classic.
without a doubt. Like who had, who was the most classic albums
The most?
For females.
for females? That's tough.
That is tough.
Look,
Janet?
I will say this. Probably Janet.
Janet
I will say for that one album,
Nah,
for the one album that she made that was classic.
But Janet.
I have yet to see an album top Lauryn Hill first album.
Oh,
Yes.
Education.
One and only album.
That album, her career in a nutshell is overrated.
No.
But-
Don't
One and only.
Don't do me.
Lauryn Hill made one album. Stop it.
Mars. That's my birthday.
Oh, it is.
In Virginia. She's from Virginia.
I knew that.
Continue.
All them freaking her, Pharrell,
Elliot
Clips, all
was
them.
born on your birthday?
Yeah.
Little Kim was born on mine.
Ain't nobody
Damn.
born on mine.
No.
How you feel about this Drake album?
What Drake album?
Oh, what you feel about this Drake album?
I've just
Scorpion.
been listening to all the songs, but I haven't been listening to the whole album. But so far, I like the songs. I like the songs.
That answers the rest of my case with the Drake album.
I know you hate Drake.
I don't hate Drake, but I've fallen off.
I honestly, I've only
I used
listened
to.
to that In My Feelings. That's the only song I've listened to. Now I've been listening.
Now listen to that
that
20 more times. That's the album.
Thank you. I have been bumping that Her album. Her.
What rappers do y'all like now then? Now on the radio.
My all-time favorite is still Kanye West. It'll always be. Ye album was but Kids See Ghost was better. Him and Cudi, that collab album. My favorite currently is Travis Scott.
I'm always gonna be a fan of the Black album, no matter what happens.
Jay-Z.
That Black album.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Cameron. Let me tell you something, Cameron. Put that camera on me. I don't care who make a retirement album. No album will ever be a better retirement album than the Black album. If he would have stayed retired, that is the best retirement album ever. I love every song on the Black album. What?
My God!
I'm from the murder capital. Where murder for capital, bro. You can't, bro.
My
I gotta
gosh.
get these angels out my life. Oh, man, come on, bro. Kanye wrote that. Kanye wrote that track.
That's why Kanye is one of my favorite of all time.
And
I used to love Kanye back in the
He's a
day.
good
What?
writer, for sure.
He's no. There's a difference between writer. He's a great conductor of music.
Yeah.
He's really phenomenal at that.
I remember when
I don't
I
really
saw
like him on
Usher.
the forefront.
Now, no, not so much.
He's awesome, Mojo.
but he's still conducting phenomenal freaking
Him
music.
in the background. I like
Yes, yeah.
I saw him in concert. He opened up for Usher way back in the day. Him and he brought
I
John
went to an
Legend
Usher
with
concert.
him.
that. John Legend.
Yes. Now when I tell you, bruh, when John Legend first popped on the scene, I was like, okay, I can. Yes,
Yeah.
that Lifted album,
I'm so sad he's
perfect,
not really doing
perfect,
that much
good, very soulful,
anymore. Yeah, soulful.
soulful.
You know, it's a very, very like pretty much perfect listen all the way through, but it's very underrated as well. B. Common.
Common.
Very.
A lyricist.
Common's extremely underrated.
It's a perfect listen
It's
all the way
egregious
through.
how underrated he is.
Right?
It's egregious. Him and Black Thought, like Black Thought is just
Hurts my feelings.
I've never heard a whack verse from Black Thought from the Roots. I've never heard a Shaq from him.
Every time I listen to Go by Common, like, that was my
That's a phenomenally perfect listen through all the way through.
He's one of the best conductors of an album. Common's albums always they flow very well. They're always very well, and then sometimes.
Wait,
so I feel like this is voice.
Illmatic. I mean, to be honest,
perfect album.
Our perfect album.
This is 10 songs, boom, right to the point. Here's what I got, boom. But I feel like Common's voice is what turns a lot of people off. That monotone voice that sounds like this. I want to talk like a school teacher. That turns a lot of people off.
Riding with the fools, and he told them exactly what he do.
I feel like that poetry sounding voice just doesn't.
I love Common though.
It's because it's outdated. But back in the day, that thing.
Yeah, back in 04.
It's just. It's outdated.
I mean, no disrespect by this, but I'm just saying.
I mean, I love Common, but yeah. Where did those artists place now?
I like Kendrick. I like Royce. I like Eminem. I like old Eminem. Now look,
Old Eminem.
I like new Eminem. His music isn't that good.
Let me tell you something, bro.
I love how you talking to M.
Let me tell you something, bro. And let me tell you something, bro.
Hello.
I don't want to say this in a bad way, but
that revival album wasn't it.
Get. I'm not telling you to get back on a substance, but
per se,
but something that can reinvigorate the crazy in you, because the crazy in you is the better M. Sober M is good, but I need I
feel like sober M is overthinking too much.
I need.
I never really gave you mushrooms, girl.
Yeah. I need Haley at 5 years old M, not Haley grown M. You know what I'm saying? I need that M. You'll do it.
Put anthrax on her, Tampax, and slap you till you can't stand.
Bruh. Angry Dad M.
He gonna be an angry dad. Have you seen what Haley looks like now?
She looks good.
He gonna be an angry dad.
That's why he needs to be the angry dad M.
Oh, he about to get some real issues coming up.
But
man,
you date my daughter?
Smack, bruh.
That's why, Dad, I got boys and one girl.
I got 2 girls. Oh
I got
man.
2 phones.
Shoot, what else going on in the news today?
What
else going on in the news this week? Oh, we just had 3 wrestling deaths.
Oh,
what?
In the same day.
Oh, I saw one.
Rest in peace, Brian Christopher.
4 if you include
who's the
rest in peace,
Trevor's dad.
No.
4 if you include
Trevor Lee. Dude,
yeah.
I love Trevor Lee to death. That's one of my favorite people I've ever met in wrestling. Met him at 19 years old. His father passed away recently, and I still have yet to hear the news on why or how. It's really sad news. He has a GoFundMe going on right now, so check out Trevor Lee's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Help out his family and what's going on with the funeral costs, the cost of when anybody in your family passes, especially your father. Really sad news about that. Really sad news about Brian Christopher, aka Grandmaster Sexay from Too Cool.
Yeah. Man,
Jerry the King Lawler's son, Nikolai Volkov, and Brickhouse Brown. Brickhouse Brown.
Yeah.
Well, crazy, all in one day.
One day. Yeah, and death comes in threes, but it was just
boom, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because I remember I just saw Brian Christopher recently. That's wow.
It's crazy how that happened.
He's still young.
Mm-hmm.
He's still young.
Or something like that?
Yeah, he's still young.
He's like 40, 41, 46.
This wrestling business is killing us, man. Dude. What else going on? News.
Superman just bought us these. I see you got the Big Joe.
What the heck?
But listen, actually, something else for the Swerve City podcast I wanted to bring up is for you guys, and you guys are females in the industry. You guys are killing it. Who are some of you guys' inspirations? Let's start with you, Lynn. Who's some of your inspirations that was coming into business on a positive note? Some of the women wrestlers you looked up to.
Because you didn't.
Well, I didn't.
You didn't really watch wrestling.
Yeah. I watched as a kid, and then I had stopped because my grandma actually got me into wrestling, and then when she passed away, I stopped watching it. And then in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, pro wrestling is the same as amateur wrestling, and that's how I ended up doing MMA because I didn't know the difference.
You did MMA?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's dope.
She said that.
Because look, that's what happens when you're not listening and you're only looking. I'm done. done. Yeah, that's what happened.
You
Listen.
just figured out the name of our episode. Not listening, only looking.
Not listening, only looking.
Oh, that's it, right there.
You're welcome.
Listen.
Huh?
You gotta have to win in there.
When you're not listening, only looking. Well, we gotta shorten that in. But man, bro,
Blow my spot, dog.
Not listening.
Just look.
You can't be in the locker rooms with me no more.
Not listening.
I'm a good dude. I'm chilling. I'm in the
Maybe he
corner.
wasn't just looking. Maybe he was just mesmerized. Let's church it up.
No, he over in the corner
Like Joe Dirte.
my man over in the corner looking at.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. She said Mobb Deep. That was it. I was like,
Yeah,
all right,
like-
I'm sold.
Stars
That's
in
what's
his
up.
Smitten.
She knows her music.
The man was smitten.
Boy turned into a Sailor Moon character just that quick.
What about you with some of your inspirations in the wrestling business for females? I didn't want to cut the conversation short, but you know.
Well, I mean, of course, you know, everybody has their, like, you know, Trish Stratus, Lita. I love them. Jacqueline.
Y'all.
No, he's still on his.
Y'all just made me laugh. I'm bad.
I mean, you know, everybody has like the top favorites. Honestly, what I actually like to tell people is that I'm a big Kyle O'Reilly fan. I am a huge Kyle O'Reilly fan. Like, if I was not putting any bias in there, if I wasn't married to like Cedric and like he just didn't exist, Kyle O'Reilly would be number one. For like the people that I just look up to and like to see him wrestle and his work ethic and
he's
how
one
he
of my
just
regrets I
snaps.
didn't get.
And he has great gears and he switches and changes.
He's one of the regrets I
effortlessly.
didn't get the chance to get in the ring with.
Like
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Cedric's still my number one favorite, but like Kyle O'Reilly is
Cedric's my favorite too because he gives me his old gear.
And
we're brothers.
Kyle actually.
I get the best hand-me-downs of all time.
Because his fan tried to jump up and he was like, boom, kick his ass off. Same
Okay,
guy.
he'll murk you.
Yeah.
Kyle will murk you.
Friggin', he's great.
Phenomenal. Favorite matches that you've had or watched as well?
My favorite match would have to be with I had a match with Nicole Savoy at AWS in
That's
California.
Big Swole.
That's Lil Swole.
Oh, really?
She's Little Swole. I'm Big Swole. Shayna's Medium Swole. That's how it goes. Yeah.
Got it. I figured out the math. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This guy. I had a match against her in December, and this past December, and that's actually one of the matches that just kicked everything in gear. They call it elevator matches. When I was at Rise, and they put you against somebody, and she's still the Shimmer champion, and they were like, if you can go 1-on-1 with her, then you're in there. We can get you at Shimmer. We can get you on the Rise roster. And we went out there for like 20 minutes and just killed it. Like, I was taking spots I never took before. Like, we did this top rope butterfly suplex off the top rope, and I was just like, this is a lot of trust because I can't do nothing but fall. So I'm like, okay, well, you got me, little swall, don't kill me, fool. Bam. It was great. We went out there and just killed it. I loved it. And then I got a great match with Cheerleader Melissa. Shout out to Cheerleader Melissa.
I've wrestled Cheerleader Melissa. She is a freaking fierce one. I love wrestling Cheerleader Melissa.
Yes, it was great because it was my I think it was my Shimmer debut or something like that. My Shimmer debut for the weekend. And after the match, she's like, that was amazing. She's like, no one ever gets me to pull out character, and you did. And I was like, thank you. The regular old days work for the old big swole.
Lord have mercy. Is there any pressure on you being that you are the wife of Cedric Alexander to go out there and perform up to those standards?
Yeah, that was another thing I had to overcome. Is that everybody always compared me to him, and we're like,
y'all don't have the same moveset. I've noticed.
No, I try to stay away from everything that he does.
Thank God.
Thank God, yeah.
I don't want.
I can't.
That's not
stand
me.
that.
Like, I have to just be me at all times. Like, I'm gonna be me regardless. Like, my friends used to always say, like, look, she gonna be her before you and after you, and that's completely true. Like, I gotta be me. There's no other way I can be. Mm-hmm. So, like, we're yin and yang. So, like, he's really, really athletic, and I'm okay, I'm kind of athletic. I have my own certain things to do, and I'm like really good at promos and like just if you give me a mic, I'm talking crap about everybody.
Spit hot fire.
Right, and like most people, they're like, oh, let me get these laughs out now, because when I get out there and I just start talking, Like, it just...
It's a fun time.
It's a fun time. Like, it's not like comedic wrestling, but in a sense, the things that I do say, it knocks my opponents off their game a little bit, so that I can just use my, like, quick strikes. You know, I tell people I'm a strike-based showman. I will entertain you. Like, if you match, like, The Rock and Human Tornado and a little bit of Kyle O'Reilly, bam! It's old Big Swole. But yeah, they always compare me to him. I'm like, I'm not him. He not me.
Oh.
Certain things I can do.
I can honestly say that like there's two completely separate wrestling styles. When both when you're in the ring, when he's in the ring, and I can appreciate that because there's a lot of women that go out there and do what their counterpart does.
Right.
You know, and it's like,
I got time to be doing all that.
no.
Hey, look, I'm not jumping. I don't trust these girls. Catch me. Look. If I was jumping on a guy, if I jump, I'll do something off the top rope with Shane because I know he gonna catch me.
I'm there. I ain't dropped a soul in 9 years.
I'm there. I'm like, I'm there.
Yeah.
And you know, that's you tell All right, we're done.
St. Pete, Water,
Right.
You know, 727-813.
All right, yeah.
So, what's the ideal man you're looking for so Montese can take notes?
Bruh.
Goal oriented. Basically just.
Why you pointing at me, bro?
Basically, they just need to be on the same page, like not jealous and got their together. Like.
Oh, you can curse on here. I said motherfucker all the time.
Yeah, we just gotta get their stuff together. It's like at the end of the day, I feel like the people I've met before, it's always they start out cool, and then as time goes on, they start getting possessive, jealous. They don't understand like. Dude, this is my job. Like, I need to be traveling. Like, yeah, there's.
Do you think it's that insecurity?
The insecurity is the biggest downfall to any relationship, and I feel like it's always someone super insecure.
I think bad sex is number one.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody says. That's absolute facts.
Right.
People's like, oh, communication is like 1A, but the sex, if the sex trash, if the sex trash.
Yeah, sex don't make a break.
Yeah.
You must not be doing it right.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why, like, relationship counselors always talk about communication, trust, and sex.
And physical.
If-
The physical.
They don't-
Yeah.
If sex doesn't matter, then you guys can just be friends. Like,
Honestly, I'm just
like-
saying, if your thing can't communicate with mine, then you can't communicate with mine. This ain't that's communication.
Well, got to go with a socket, and if that ain't working,
Do you find it that like in this business you have to like it's easier to be with somebody in the business because you know how like wrestling can take you apart from everybody else that's not in it. You know, they don't understand. They don't understand it, like, because, you know, wrestling does not have any off days. This is not, they don't have no seasons or anything like that. It ain't like basketball or football where you just, like, a couple months or whatever. Wrestling's all the time.
I'm starting to see that. Like, before I was always, like, the person that's, like, I don't want to date within my circle. Like, I don't want to, like, shit where you eat type of thing. Mm-hmm. So I always try to be outside that. Even within MMA, I would not date anyone who was a fighter. And then within, like, wrestling, I was the same way. But now, I don't know. Now I'm more open to the idea. It's like, at the end of the day, you have to be with someone who understands you. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't really matter where you meet them at. They just have to be understanding to who you are and be cool about everything, understand your schedule. Because it's really hard to date someone that just isn't on the same page. Mm-hmm. I've tried that. It does not work.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, like, my experience, like, I find that like I said earlier, but on the real talk, like, as an entertainer and always being around, like, real talk, like, it's so funny.
Like,
You said you a motherfucking lie.
Not before, like, I understand the points, especially what Ariel's saying, like, about being able to, not only sexually, but being able to be on the same page with just who you are, like you said, like your best friend, like that's got to click.
Yeah, that's why.
That really has to click. You got to have a real understanding, and I think sometimes in relationships, things fail, because like you said, with insecurity and jealousy, and sometimes people just don't handle their baggage before they get with other people. Like, you have to handle all that.
Ooh, that was my issue years ago.
Mine too. Yeah. That's what my first one.
That was my issue years ago because it kept coming back. It kept coming back and kept coming back, and I wish I would, as a 22 years old, 21, 22 years old, already had a child with a one woman. It definitely hurt my second relationship because we had a child together as well. So it was the clashing of back and forth, and like me being that young, I didn't know how to handle the first child.
I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this in a bad way, but do you think, honestly, because I know how things can happen as a man, do you think that the second child came and she wanted to have the child to keep you, try to keep you from the first one?
Possibly. I won't say it was like a definite thing, but it was possible. Like in her mind, she probably wouldn't even think it was a definite thing. It was probably like a something in her mind telling her like, oh, I should have this baby or something like that. But I'm just glad like I found ways to work with that. Also grind in wrestling. Also have a military background. Also find a job to support these.
So what's the difference between your significant other now, Carlina, and the other two? What difference?
Understanding and maturity. We have a great understanding, and she's mature. She like we have arguments, but they're not arguing. We're not spatting at each other. We're not calling each other out of our names. We're not.
It's not like talking to a kid, right?
Yeah, we're like she's not making a point to outrule my point. That's only trying to like resolve something. We're just both like if we do have like those gripes, we just take our time, and I'll play my game. She goes in the living room.
Separate.
See, that's
Yeah.
that's
I also find
go to the
out
gym.
that if I'm with somebody and if
This
I
is
can
not
spend
like-
like
yeah.
2-3 days, if I spend 2 days and I'm not even talking to them, but then we come back together like on that
And it's
third day,
calm.
like ain't nothing else, been happening or nothing, just like boom, seamless.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we can spend all day of like just not. I didn't even say nothing to you. You didn't say nothing to me. But then we're still cool.
Yeah,
You still have that space.
because you got so much energy. You're dispersing so much energy in everything else we do as an entertainer with your
Right.
child, with him going on the road. You got like a household to maintain. You got other projects you're working on. You got so much energy to disperse out into the world to maintain your living. You shouldn't have to disperse that same like negative energy towards your loved one. You should, like, if anything, conserve the good energy you have for them. So when like I remember we had a little thing like a couple days ago. It was just like we just took a break for a while. Like I went to the gym. She stayed here. She did her thing, and then vice versa. She went to work. I stayed here, played my game, came back, still didn't speak, but like got into bed. Boom, I held her. Cause like. There's nothing more to fight about. There's nothing like I'm not trying to win anything. I'm not trying to lose. She's not trying to win anything. But we just know like we just need to take time because we're together all the time. I don't really go anywhere else. When I'm home, I'm home. You're seeing what I do on a daily basis. If I'm not here, I'm wrestling, or if I'm not on the road, I'll go to your house with Cedric and them, and then I don't do much. Or I visit my kids.
Yeah.
That's all. This is all I need. I don't complicate my life with going out with like a lot. There's a lot of distractions where a lot of people let that take over their world.
Also having a partner that just completely understands everything that you're going through. Like sometimes, like Cedric will come home and be like, okay, go have a girls' night. Go to the spa. Take my card. Go do this. Go get pampered. You're a mother. You're also trying to do this career, and you're also a wife, and it's about that balance. Like I have to be with our child more than he does, but he knows that I.
But y'all understood that.
Right,
Y'all knew that going in.
I also have to I'm doing the laundry. I'm cleaning up after everything. Because he doesn't have time to do his own laundry because he just packs up and leave. And I just have to make sure that everything's in rotation and make sure that he has everything that he needs. And
designing his costumes for the next big paper.
Right, it's like you're drawing out all of his stuff and everything, giving him ideas for color schemes and giving him ideas for this. Like when I came up to WrestleMania when he was about to win the title, and I knew that I didn't have time to party or anything else, and I was just like, I know I'm here just completely to help you out because he was stressing out and everything, and he bought this
70,000 people,
right? And he's just like beforehand, we went out and got this suit. I picked out his suit for him for that day, and he was just like, okay, I need help. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm getting him ready and everything. And I look at his suit and I was like, this suit needs to be ironed because in the transit it just got a little bit of wrinkled. And he was just like, oh, thank God you're here, because he's like, I don't really know what to do, like what setting to put it on or what how much water to put in the iron, and I'm just like, nope, I got it.
Us wrestlers are
right, dress him, put him together, make sure he's out of the house, make sure you're texting him, make sure he's eating, make sure he understands things. He's going over stuff. He's like, what does this sound like? Does this sound good for the match? Like, yes, that sounds good. And also understanding. Like, I'm so glad that I took the first 2 years of my wrestling career to pick his brain for psychology, so that now when he is in a stump and he needs help with something, he can come to me, because I'll have a different way of thinking and more like creative base, because I watch a lot of like kung fu movies and everything, so I drag stuff from everywhere. And I was like, well, what about putting this there? What about putting that there? He's like, oh, I didn't think about that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's like we're yin and yang, but we complement each other so well.
Especially because that was his big day, and me being there for the wedding and the rehearsals, that was your big day as a woman, and he literally complimented you and gave that energy right back to you. What do you want, baby? What do you want to do? Where's your girls? You can go out. Like, he gave, like, I was literally sat there, watched the whole thing. He literally gave that whole energy right back to you and let you have your day, and he was there to pamper you for that. So it's really good that y'all got to. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and then he was like perfectly okay with me flying out literally the next day for California for the AWS tournament, and like we got married, we had one like night together, not even like 6 hours, and I had to be on a plane to go to California, did the whole entire thing, came back, got our baby, said goodbye. He was on a plane for Raw. It's just
and it's just a go.
Yeah, that's just how it is. It's like
you
stopping.
You don't get that time. Yeah. You don't get that time yet, but it comes. It's coming. It's coming, man. This has been a really good interview. I can't even say it's an interview.
Have any connects to go to like Greece and Italy? Holla.
Right, that's
because that's where we're going.
Yeah, this ain't. Holla at your peoples.
Right, like he went to Italy, like when they was doing all the European stops, and he went there. He saw how beautiful it was flying in, and he stayed in the hotel, and he was like, "Nope, I want to come see this with my wife." They're like, "Said you going out?" "Nope, because I'm coming back with my girl." And I was like, "Oh, that's my Y."
But yeah,
no F, no E, my Y.
What we're gonna close this out on a good note, like on a positive note. What upcoming projects do you have that you're working on? Let the people know.
We'll be wrestling in different promotions. You can find that on my Facebook page at facebook.com/the Zeda Zhang. And then my music, everything's under Julie Real, Real, and working with this guy named Icon, Eikon. We're coming out with the LP. He used to be signed with Cash Money, and now he's doing his music again. So we'll be working on that coming up.
All right. And Little Miss Big Swole.
Everything about me is going to be on my Twitter at Ariel Monroe, or on my Instagram Ariel_Monroe. But I should be at like CWA. I know I'm doing that next month, so that's gonna be cool. The first time in Delaware. I know I think I got some Battle Club. She's been reaching out. So
Battle Club is fun.
Battle Club Pro. So
up in New York.
I'm like, yeah.
Shout out Battle Club.
Shout out Battle Club. Yeah, so I'm hoping that really pulls through.
Okay.
I got some extra really good things popping up, and then of course FSCW. We're doing in Louisville, Kentucky, in December. Yeah, Chinese.
Big time. Let me shout out a big supporter of the podcast on Twitter around Seattle. He sent us right here. We can get a close up.
I was looking at that.
Vanna White.
He has right 3 microphones as a donation to the podcast because he's such a big fan of what we do. He's supporting everything we do from Seattle-born, native over here. Boom.
Shout out to you, man.
Shout out to you, bro. Around Seattle. Thank you very much
for supporting the fans.
You know, we got extra mics right here. And speaking of Seattle, is it time?
It's that time.
Is it time?
It's about that time, bro.
Is it time?
Go ahead and let them know.
No, this is your job.
Oh,
you
job.
gonna do this one. You the big announcement, man. You the big mic. Speaking to it. Get a close up on it right here.
Look, man.
I'm pretty sure you might have seen it earlier today on Facebook.
But August 9th.
No, August 10th. August 10th.
August 9th, I'm flying in.
Oh, there you go.
August 10th. The Swerve City podcast will be live at Defy Wrestling.
In Seattle.
In Seattle, Washington Hall, correct?
Washington Hall.
Washington Hall. We will be live. Can't say who the guests are yet as we put some things together. But,
and matter of fact, we're probably not even going to tell you the guests too.
I can tell you too.
You got to show up.
You got to show up. You got to pay the admission. And if you're in the Seattle area, make sure you come out and see the show. We are going to be live. It is going to be amazing. You know, we want you guys in the Seattle area. If you want to come in, just come in and hang out with us.
So yeah, no more waiting outside in the cold and the rain.
Y'all come in.
The meet and greet is right here in the podcast. There's going to be merchandise. Swerve City Podcast shirts will be available for purchase. And actually, we don't even have we're not even going to charge no admission fee. We're just going to have a donation.
Just come on.
We're going to have donation. Just donate. Everything that we get, we put towards the podcast, we put towards the product, and we give it back a better product for you, the viewers, to listen to, watch us, see every new guest that we have come up in here, friends of ours. You never know who's going to pop up on this couch, hop up in this video, hop on our YouTube page. Man,
we're going to be uncut. It's going to be uncut raw.
Yes.
Because I don't play pull no punch, especially when
it's going to be a good time.
You know
and
what I mean?
Also, this is the week that we have progress coming in, so who knows might hop up on that podcast stage.
Also, there's a song. I got to get dramatic when I do this.
That wasn't hard.
Bruh.
We got a song. And this song, I said, this song, God damn it, this song is crazy. We got Mickey Fax. If you don't know who Mickey Fax is, do your Googles. He was, he's in the same class as Wale. He's in the same class as Kid Cudi, Gym Class Heroes, all the guys, the cool kids. Yes.
J. Cole.
We got Mickey Fax. We got him on the song. Him.
I'm the wrestler. He's the rapper.
We got myself. And we got Leo Rush.
Oh, boy. Listen. Big Swole on there, too. You just can't hear me.
We got Swerve on the track, too.
Yeah.
We got Julie on the track, too. Everybody getting on that joint.
I'm just
That music video is going to be crazy. I need cameos. All you wrestlers that's been on this podcast, everybody. That music video, we need the whole hood out there.
We gonna cook.
Bruh.
We need the whole hood.
You know I can dance, right? I'm on.
Like a mother.
Micah, bruh.
Big sis.
Can you imagine the cameos that's going to be in this video? Everybody's coming out. Make sure you check that out. Monteezy featuring Shane Strickland, featuring Leo Rush, and Mickey Fax. It is called Swerve City. That song is coming out next month. Next month, we are dropping that song. And I'm telling y'all, do your Googles. This is going to be amazing.
This is going to be fire. We got to close this out. Get these people home to their families. Yeah. You know where you can follow us. Follow me, Shane Strickland, the International King of Swerve, at Strickland Shane. Monteezy, at Monteezy Moore. Twitter, Instagram, all the goods. Facebook, check us out. We got a Facebook page now. Swerve City Podcast has an Instagram now, at Swerve City Podcast Official. And check out and follow our Swerve City Podcast on Twitter, Swerve City Pod.
Google us.
That's it.
Google Play, iTunes, download it. Videos coming each week. Y'all support some brothers, man. We out here. We making it happen, man. You feel me?
Episode 5. We already going to Seattle. That's all I'm going to say. Where can they follow you at?
Zeta_ZHANG, Zeda Zhang on Instagram, and the Zeta Zhang on Twitter.
Big Swole.
It's on Twitter, it's Ariel Monroe. On Instagram, it's Ariel_Monroe. Facebook, just Ariel Monroe. And if you want to book old Big Swole, it's MonroeArielPro@gmail. Holla.
And this has been episode 5 of the Swerve City Podcast. And I'm going to leave you with this message. Be confident in everything you do.
And make sure you wash your goddamn ass. And that's all I got to say about that.